Good morning, everyone. Should be live at this point. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone is well. I got the lithium battery charged yesterday. Here we go. Little ceramic magnet. I don't know what it's doing here. Is it? Is it a magnet? I actually don't know. I don't know if this is stainless. Here, this should be mild steel. Oh yeah, it is a magnet. It is a crappy magnet though. Don't know where that came from. Not at all. All right, so we've got work to do today. So the Finersi oscilloscope that we had a look at before I got my new jobs. I went to edit it yesterday because really I should be editing more than recording, and it turns out that I hadn't finished it, so that was a shame. So we need to finish it today. So let's get the cobwebs off of it first and foremost. So we need to blow some air and take off all the dust. Where's my air duster? Here it is. Watch your ear holes. I think I just ran out of charge. And also this thing needs to be charged up. So let's put a couple minutes of juice in it. I don't know what the battery percentage is at, but it is a rechargeable. Let's plug it in there. And there is the battery charge indicator. Okay. So that can hang out there for a little bit. That's good. We will charge this one after. Do I have any spare USBs? I do. There we go. Now my duster is charging. Excellent. I need to build a USB charge station for my workspace. And I have all the parts. I just don't have the space. There comes the sun. Oh, yeah, and we're going to do the stir. There we go. Stir is done. Also, as we stream today, I've got my Claude working on a big project for me. Let's see. So, as of now, I've used 98% of my week's worth of Claude. So it's actually quite the effort to use up that much Claude. I don't know if you guys know how it works, but you've got 5-hour stints where you have a maximum usage for that 5 hours, and then it resets. Then you have your week stint where you have, a week's worth of usage maximum. But in order to hit your week's maximum, you really have to work with it a lot, right? Because your 5-hour stints aren't like exhaustive. You can't like use all of your usage during the 5-hour stints. So it's all broken up. So I've used 98% of my weekly allotment of Claude on a very large project, only tangentially related to electronics. No coding is happening in it, but definitely for some project that I want to open source. And I will argue that stuff made by AI can't be copyrighted. So my whole goal, let's just explain. My whole goal is to generate stuff with AI, which is useful. So a useful use of AI, but that generated thing can be used thousands of times. So yes, there's environmental impacts to AI, but I think if you use it to generate something that will be viewed thousands of times, used thousands of times, I think that mitigates the impact, right? It divides the impact by 1,000, that kind of thing. I think it's silly. I think it's absolutely silly that AI is being used to generate stuff that the internet has known forever, right? Like anything, if you're asking it to describe you something in a Wikipedia article, it doesn't make sense to generate that every time. It takes a lot less effort to pull up the Wikipedia page. Now, that doesn't mean that AI is bad or Wikipedia is good. I mean, I do think Wikipedia is good, but I think it's just we're not using it right. So anyway, stick around for that project. This week I'll probably have to use my Claude account to get up to speed on stuff that I'll be working on in the new job. To train me to be a more effective KiCad user, a faster, more effective KiCad user, a faster datasheet reader, because the datasheets that I'll have to interface with are for like cutting edge microcontrollers and stuff. So like, microcontrollers that I've released in 2026. So there's not a lot of public info. There's only what's in the datasheet itself. So, it's the type of thing where I'm going to upload the datasheet and I'll be like, train me, like help me find these sections, because they're not always named what you think they're named. So probably won't be able to continue the project this week. But as of next week, I should be starting to again, which is neat. All right, so how long will we take to charge this? Let's turn it on, because we also have to familiarize ourselves with how this works again. Yeah, it's still charging. Oh, there's that noise, the fan. I'll turn it off to get as much charge into it as possible. I should have a 90-degree adapter. Let me see here. Maybe I could put the 90-degree adapter in it to be able to have it flush on the bench. Because like, I get why they didn't put the USB charger up here, but that does kind of ruin the flat profile. Let me see here. I definitely bought 90-degree adapters. The question is to find them. Here, I'll try to sort through this where you guys can see a little bit better. I'm also at the point now where I'm going to have to split my USB cable collection into its composite parts, because I've got way too many USB cables for one storage bin. Okay, let me see if I can find these. So I know it was part of a recent acquisition. So it's probably going to be in the more recent buckets. Not there. Not there. Not there. What did I need the 90 degrees for? Oh yeah, for the microscope project. which I need to make a video on because the microscope project is active. I just need to now clean up all the junk I put underneath it, because now I can't use it because I don't have space again. Such is my life, folks. Such is my life. Okay, we're going to try not to do another rummaging stream. Okay, so that's good. Do we have our batteries charged? Let's just make sure. My sewing kit. Dust off these things. 1 and 2, and then plug this into power. There we go. Oh, something else I wanted to show you guys. I have ordered some TMR sticks. I'm gonna have to reach out to PCBWay, essentially, because I haven't talked to them in months now, and I gotta make sure they still want to sponsor videos. I don't want to make videos for them and then them not pay me. So I need to reach out and confirm that they're still buying videos, essentially. But for the joystick project, for the remote project, I bought these things. So if you have a game controller and you play with them a lot, the potentiometers wear, and you get what's called stick drift, where the zero, you can't have a zero position anymore. So you repair them using either Hall Effect sticks, which are very nice, they don't have any wear components, or these, which are newer, which are TMR, tunneled magnetoresistance sticks. So the little potentiometers are replaced by a magnet and a sensor. And these things are incredibly precise, incredibly sensitive. And they will drift because magnetism isn't forever. So the magnetic characteristics of them will change over time. But you go and you calibrate them. See there, that's written Hall Pi. So yeah, these are high quality TMR sticks. They are a little bit more expensive than a regular stick. They come with the caps as well. A little bit more expensive than a regular stick, but not that expensive. These are I think they're 7 to 15 Canadian dollars for the pair, and one pair is enough to do one controller. You need 2 sticks. So yeah, they make them for all of the brand controllers. They are a pain in the butt to desolder off the board and resolder, but that was part of my job at the place I worked up until last Tuesday, was to replace failed sticks with these TMR sticks, and yeah, that was part of my job. And I'll tell you, if that kind of work was the stuff I was doing all day, I would have been much happier. Actually, it doesn't matter, because this new job, whether it be more difficult or more stressful or whatever, the new job is, I feel like that's where I belong. So I can't wait to do it. Question. Damn. I didn't plug in my function gen. So here's the question. Are we going to use my, didn't mean to make that fall. What's going on here? I guess we're going to use this guy, UTG 962E. That'll be the function gen for the video on this thing. But this is 60 megahertz. Which one? That one's only 40. I do need a better function gen, it seems. I need a function gen that at least goes to 1 megahertz. Is this 1 megahertz? Yeah. Sorry, 100 megahertz. Yeah, this one's 100 megahertz. So what's the cheapest 100 megahertz function gen? Give me a second. What's just doing something real quick. All right. So, function generator. Let's see. This Rigol, 60 megahertz. This Siglent, 40 megahertz. 80 megahertz Siglent. This one says it goes up to 100. 400 bucks. Feel Elec. I wonder if that's full bandwidth though. Does my Unity scope have a function gen? Here's a good question. Where is my Unity scope? Should be around here somewhere. I just want to get the part number off of it. Man, it's a giant oscilloscope. How can I lose track of it? I have my Keysight one. I can check my Keysight one. DSOX 1102G. Does it even have a function gen? It does. DSOX 1102G. Obsolete, yeah, that's fine. So here it is, the gen out. 20 megahertz wave gen. Okay, so that one's out. That's weird. Where would I have placed my Unity? The thing is, sometimes I use my tools like out and about. Like I will bring the oscilloscope out. Oh, there it is. Out to help someone. Okay, here it is. Does this have function gen? I don't think it has a function gen. UPO 1204. Let's see. $1,000. Jesus Christ. It is a 200 megahertz. I don't think it has a function gen. No function gen. Well, how's it going, Franco? Sorry, I didn't notice you there. That's fine, I was late too. You know what they say, huh? Better late than pregnant. Man, 2 gig samples per second is sick. So, how much money do I have to spend? Oh, their website is screwed up. How much money do I have to spend to get a function gen? So their website's probably screwed up because Brave is blocking a pop-up. That's probably what's going on. Generators. Things are pretty good there. That's good. Waveform, signal gens. Well, this would be nice. Up to 500 megahertz, but this is going to be, I'm going to guess this is going to be like $8,000. Hey, not too bad. And it goes up to 10K, 500 megahertz. That is so cool. 100 megahertz, 80 to 200. This one's nice. Okay, $1,000. That's $80. $1,200. Yeah, I'm not willing to spend that kind of cash at this point. Who do we ask? Gemini? What is the cheapest waveform generator that you can buy that will do full dB at 100? Oh, mega H and small z. There we go. I don't care where you have to source it. AliExpress, Amazon, whatever. I have a SIGGEN, but it's 60 megahertz is my fastest SIGGEN. Thing is, if I'm going to be testing scopes, which typically go up to 100 megahertz, I would like something that goes up to 100 megahertz or higher, ideally. The Unity UPO scope is sick. That thing is nuts. Goes like 200 megahertz, but don't know if I'll be able to do that. Let's parallel ask ChatGPT. What is the cheapest microcontroller that I can get to output clean, strong square wave at 100 plus megahertz. Okay, so the FY 6900 fails your full dB requirement. 5 volts peak to peak past 20 megahertz. Yeah, that kind of sucks. O1 XDG 2100. Most affordable, true professional grade arbitrary waveform generator, maintaining strong single integrity, 14-bit resolution at 100 megahertz. That is cool. Rigol DG2102. 16 bits. Jesus. Wow. Yeah, Vero and I are good. Vero's busy, and so am I. You know, with the new job starting, so obviously I have butterflies because I only have 4 months to impress them. And I'm going to be the only person in there that's not an engineer. So, yeah, how are you feeling? You're saying your health is getting better? STM32H7. That's an idea. CMOS oscillator. Hmm. Square wave with clean edges. You're not sleeping as much during the day. Back to about an hour nap after lunch. Oh, that's good. Okay, option 1, 5 volt CMOS oscillator. Yeah. Output jack. So very, very simple. Bypass capacitor, series resistor, placed within a few millimeters of the output pin, a solid ground plane. CMOS output, rise fall time under 1 nanosecond. So I'm going to look into this. Making a CMOS oscillator work for me That might be the play here. Also, I would love this function gen, but I'm not willing to invest that kind of money. I'm just going to grab my video ideas document. Writer. Can't be that hard to build. How's it going, ITT? No, I don't think it's that hard to build. I agree. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? No, I don't think it'll be that hard to build. In fact, if PCBWay will still have me as a sponsor, I'm going to knock off a board right away and send it to them. Might do that today. I might have time to do it before I start work. But if not, I'll just order all the parts and we'll be good to go. Yeah. I don't care, dude. Just open. I love the fact that LibreOffice is free, but like, god damn, does it ever suck. Ideas. Okay, yeah. So 100 megahertz plus CMOS oscillator to test scopes. And save. Excellent. Oh, I'll be at the bench in 1 second, just checking my usage. I've used 99% of my Claude subscription. I'm going to squeeze as much possible. I'm going to get it to 100%. All right. Yesterday afternoon, you had a migraine. Oh, no. I hate migraines. All my homies hate migraines. So this is the insane, the UPO 1204, 4-channel, 200 megahertz. I think this guy will become my daily driver. I need to do a little bit of setup here in the lab, which is going to be the plan soon. If I'm too stressed from the new job, when I need to de-stress my mind, I will just do some cleaning in here because it has nothing to do with electronics, really. Okay, this can go back up there. That's fine. So yeah, I think we're going to use this for the little demo here. Which is good. So we'll use this. Is this ready? It's still charging. But I say screw it. Let's just do it. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Just the absent brain for today. Okay, well then we're on the same plane then. You and I. Okay. Can I get that's USB-A? I do not have enough USBs around my workbench here. It's quite the shame. Actually, I can just plug it into my power supply. That should be on. There we go. Okay, so, oh my god, kilohertz. If I remember correctly, this thing is obtuse to use. So frequency, if we switch this to megahertz. So 10 dot megahertz. We go right up to its max. That's good. And then this, we don't want millivolts. We want volts peak to peak. Let's go 5 volts peak to peak. Let's grab a BNC to BNC. Can you guys see that properly? Oh, look, you guys can see my coffee sign. There we go. You guys can see that a little bit better. Maybe if I shim it up a little bit. Shim it all up like a U-Haul truck. Oh, yeah, my lighting is not great for you guys. I mean, it's not bad. Can't do too much about it, but what I can do is make it much worse for you guys. Needs to go back a little. This is all lit, so it doesn't work well. That's not too bad. So I need it that height. There we go. And just slide it back a bit. Don't ruin anything. Motherfucker. I do, you know what? I literally bought 1, 2, 3 blocks for this. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life, folks? There we go. That should be okay. There we go. Okay, now we just need a BNC. You like the Unity? Yeah, I love the little Unity. The thing is, space on this bench is at a premium. So I really do appreciate the fact that it's small. Very small. All right, so channel 1. So this has a 50 ohm termination to ground. So I don't think I need this 50 ohm terminator, nor this angled BNC. Make some 3D printed angle stands. You know what? You're not wrong. You're really, really actually correct on that one. That'd probably be a good idea. Okay. So here we go. So 5 volts peak to peak. And if I go, this should have an auto. Oh, up here. Ooh, that's an unsatisfying click. Bang! Look at that. It did it. So that's very nice. Little wibbly wobbly, but we don't know if it's this or if it's that. So let's see. Frequency 60 megahertz on the dot. 60.00. That is crazy. So that's good. You guys can't really see that, but trust me, it says 60.00. This thing has its own function gen too. We're going to have to pull out another scope. So that's good. Let's see if we can... Yeah, this is responds very nicely. It looks really good. Like, this works really well. Has nice detents. So that part's decent. What does DDS mean? Oh, no. Can stop. There we go. How do we get back to back? There we go. Don't need the DDS on. So that looks really good. I'm watching the start of the stream. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, auto being up here is nice. You just have to remember it's there. So that's good. That's working well. Let's see if we can start. I don't remember wave. Square wave. Set values out of range. That's okay. So here the wave is very flat, or very it's like almost a sine wave, and we're down to 20 megahertz now. Yeah, 20 megahertz. So I don't know if it's a limitation of this function gen. 1 megahertz. Just gonna auto it out. So it's not a very crisp wave here at 1 megahertz. And then up here it becomes genuinely, it's like a sine wave almost at 20 megahertz. I have to check on another scope if that is a function of the function gen or if that's a function of the scope. So let me see here. What is going on? They were stuck together. So grab this. I'm gonna grab another BNC. Another BNC is here. There we go. Now this is coax, right? So it's going to be well shielded. So it should be fine. Now we'll grab that fancy Unity scope. Oh. The only thing is you guys probably aren't going to be able to see the signal. For information, you have a special cartridge replace heat up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can get one of those. That's not what we used at work. I know what you mean. So you mean it's a tip for the soldering iron that heats up the whole footprint at the same time. We used a different technique. I'm not going to be able to demonstrate that technique for you guys. I have signed an NDA. However, there is a technique that I thought would have been better, and the lead technician was anti that technique, so I never got to demonstrate it. But the piece of equipment is on my short list to buy. Okay, so with plugging in the second scope here, we have slight signal attenuation. You see that? Very little. So I don't think it's going to matter. All I want to do is check to see. I'm just going to do auto here. Auto set. All I want to do is check to see if it's the function gen giving me a bad square wave, or if it's the scope, and it is indeed the function gen. So that looks identical to that. So the function gen is unable to give me a clean square wave. Let's auto set that. This one will just go horizontal. So that's much closer there. It's up 2 megahertz. 3 megahertz, it's already very rounded. And then, ooh, look at that ringing. You guys see that ringing? No ringing here, but there's definitely ringing here. And this one here is 2 gig samples per second. This one being 500 meg samples per second, it's having issues. Wow. Oh, this one's DC coupling though. Can't go AC coupling. Is this one? That one's AC coupling. Let's go DC. Same. So, that's interesting, right? You wouldn't see that ringing. Not good, yeah, not good ringing. But that's okay. Because honestly, this is a 100 megahertz scope, but you know, yeah, I don't know. So that's good there. 5 volts peak to peak. What do we have here? 25 volts. Okay, my probe is probably set to 1x. Well, there's no probe, so 1x. So this is giving me a, oops. Oh yeah, 5 volts peak to peak, that's right. So 2.6 volts peak to peak. Or sorry, 2.6 volts max. What's the peak to peak? Yeah, 5.2. What does this one say? This one's not grabbing me a frequency. There we go, 100 megahertz. This says 999.9961 kilohertz. Wait, that gives you 100 megahertz frequency? It shouldn't be. It should be 1. Oh, maybe there's a period there. I just can't see it. Okay. There should be math functions. And what do I need? Display. Measure. Voltage peak to peak. Okay. Why can't you just go away? There we go. Peak to peak. Oh, it's on 10x. Hang on. Got to put it on 1x. .3. Okay, so it is grabbing it. It's decent. It's decent. I think it's this thing has trouble with the square waves. So if I go wave, let's give it a pulse. Duty cycle 10%. So there you see the pulse. It's grabbing it. It's not very good. This thing is not very good at square waves. And yeah, there's your pulse. So I mean, I think the problem is here. We're doing stuff, you know, in the megahertz range. So you will get a signal on the Finersi. It's just not the ideal. Going back to 1x speed, yeah. Do you pay for premium? Because I think everything above 2x speed is premium, isn't it? Can change the rise and fall time. Can, yeah, up or down. No lower than 15 nanoseconds. Okay, so now we know at least that it kind of works. It's good. So, like, what kind of tests do you guys want done to an oscilloscope? Like, what kind of stuff, what kind of oscilloscope testing do you guys think is important? Like, what does Scott do? The DEFCOM YouTube. By the way, you guys should all subscribe to Scott's channel. Let's see. So let's see what he does. You guys should watch his video. So he's got the calibration wave. Yeah. Triggering. The math operations. I don't have like a test suite. Audio frequency testing. Yeah, I have to admit, I watch quite a few creators in 2x speed. I'm a big fan. But usually it's 1 1/4 to 1.5 times. Watching part of his stream tonight? Yeah. So I guess let's see what AI has to say. What would be a good review procedure to put budget scope through for a YouTube first look type video? What do non-YouTubers actually use scopes for, and what features are important to them? He streamed for 8 hours. Yeah, he's a beast. I like him. I like Scott. He's a good guy. I need to head to the washroom. I have to slow them. Yeah, I mean, that's good that you can adjust it. So I have to go to the washroom. I will put this bad boy on charge, just so we don't run out of charge for our video. And I will be right back after these messages. There we go. On charge. I do like that you can charge it while using it, especially when it's in its stand-up mode. Be right back. I'm back. Sorry about that. 200 channels. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Something pixel. Where's the skip button? Yeah. Shops are closed Sundays, huh? Sunday fun day. Sunday opening in the UK. There's something I heard about like Australia, that in Australia all the stores close at like 6 p.m. What's that in European? 18 o'clock. And so it's really hard when you work like a 9 to 5, you have to hit the grocery store on your way home, or else you're not getting any groceries for the day, which is interesting. So I guess we should do a quick tour of the sort of like ergonomics of this thing. So we don't need this. We can turn that off. We can turn this off. So those two are off. Turn this off. Military time is used in some European countries, right? Actually, Franco, how would you know? You're not even in Europe anymore. Kidding, kidding. Making a joke. All right, let's take these B and C ya laters. I guess I'll just hang it up as normal. You have it on your clock so you don't say it. Okay. Okay. Speaking of clocks, so I've been enjoying wearing my. Hang on. Let me go grab it upstairs. Better with visuals. Heading back down. So this is my fake Seiko. This was 18 Canadian dollars. Is it still the 26th? Yep. The date is correct. This was 18 Canadian bucks. Got it from AliExpress. It's a fake. It's not even a good fake. It's a straight fake. Right? But working in an office for once, instead of working on cars, I've been enjoying wearing this thing on my wrist. And in fact, I've gotten compliments on it, which is interesting because it's a fake. So, I was thinking, once I got a job and got some decent income, I'd like to get a legit Seiko with an automatic movement. So with the one that you flip your wrist like this fake one. I don't even know what fake this is. It's just a complete Chinese whatever. So it has like a counterweight, and that charges up the watch. Should be, yeah, there we go. So this is a complete. This is not even a fake. It's just a bad Chinese watch. But anyways, so I wanted a legit Seiko to wear on my wrist to try to remind myself that, try to stave off the imposter syndrome at a new job. right? So at the job I just quit, I didn't feel like I was making enough income to justify it, but I kept looking at the watch, and I kept using this to sort of like get rid of my imposter syndrome. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? Like, it's just something I could wear on my wrist that I can look at and be like, I'm okay. Either way. So the new job comes at a 36% raise over what I was making at the last job. But I'm going to be in a room full of engineers, and it's just me. So it's just me that's not an engineer. So I figured I would take the plunge and celebrate the fact that you've never felt like that? Okay, well, it's just, maybe just me. I would celebrate the fact that I got that far, that I got the job. That's already a big deal. So what I did, there is something called a Seiko mod. So a Seiko mod uses a Seiko movement called the NH35 or NH36. There's a few of them. NH35. And then you buy parts. So you use a Seiko movement, you buy a dial, hands, case, and then you put it together. And the cost of this is less than a legit Seiko watch, but you get to build it yourself, which I think is really cool. And you get to customize it to however you want. And yeah, so I'm going to have all the parts come in shortly. They should get here right before I start the new job. So I would love to do a stream building this watch, and it's going to be my grounding thing. Like, I don't know, I love the idea of a mechanical watch. So, this is the mechanical movement. So it cost me just under 200 Canadian dollars, but I went for high-end parts. I went for like, there's the Seiko movement. I got the made in Japan one instead of the made in China one. And yeah, hopefully this is going to be like the commemorative launch to my tech career. So I spent a little bit of money, but like, I think it'll be cool. And I'll have like an artifact of my start in tech, which is going to be, I think it's going to be pretty cool. I know a lot of people aren't into watches. That's fine. You don't have to be into watches. It's literally just for me. But we'll be building it on stream, very likely. 200, yeah, 200 reasons. No, 1 to 5K. That's not even getting started. Like a Grand Seiko is like 10K. But I think it is so cool that you can get the same movement that is in a Grand Seiko. The made in Japan one is 100 Canadian dollars, but you can find them on sale for like $60, $70. Or you can buy the Chinese one for like 20, 30 bucks. Or in a cheap Casio watch, not even your so-called important jobs. No. Hold on, Franco. It's not for anybody else. It's for me. I don't care if anyone knows, or it's for me. It's something I can, it's like something that I want to commemorate my new work in tech with. And I think it'd be really cool if I could retire and still have the same watch that I've worn every day in my tech career, It's like a new start. And you know what? The thing is, I don't know if I can do the job. who knows? Maybe I'll work there for 2 weeks and they'll fire me. Like, I don't know. That's the thing. I hope I can do the job. I think I can do the job, but I don't know it. You get that it's... No, but you've never felt like you need to do that. Well, I mean, I love that for you. Like, I'm glad that you never felt the need to impress anyone, but you know, like, I don't, so this new job is the first time that my skills that I display and have on YouTube would actually be able to support me, like, in a full-time capacity, essentially. I am pretty thrilled about that. And so it's a big deal for me, right? It's a really big deal. If I impress them by my work skills, I'm not talking about impressing them in a like with my fancy watch. That's not what I'm talking about. If I do good enough work that they want to convert me to full time, I will not have any financial worries. The job pays so well. Doom scrolling, yeah, me too. Doom scrolling is a thing. It's not Lockwatcher, it's Linus HSD. I know he has the same, like, logo. So anyways, it's important for me, and I think an artifact is going to be a nice part of it. And you know, it is what it is. The watch is for me. It's not for them. It helps me sort of try to refocus my efforts, and yeah. I know it sounds silly to some of you. That's fine. Maybe you guys never struggled with, like, imposter syndrome. Maybe you never really had an opportunity that could change your life. Yeah, it's all good. But this new job would, if they like me, if they keep me on, I will change my social economic class. Like, you don't understand. The potential, if I stay on full time, the potential is I'm going to be able to make more money than anyone in my extended family has ever been able to make. But not only that, but is doing something I love. That's good. I'm glad you don't care about physical objects. For me, it's because I wear it. Right? So it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, those seasickness bands that essentially it's just you focus on the feeling on your wrist. I think it's the same thing like that. It's not a physical thing, it's a mental thing. You know what I mean? But anyways, so anything that can try to lower my anxiety, I think is going to be a positive, and that's fine. That's fine if you don't agree. All good. All good. Plus, I identify very well with the whole mechanical aspect of it. It's tiny, precision work, putting together a watch. I think it's super cool. Scrolling continuously like on TikTok, yeah, or YouTube Shorts. I'm guilty of the YouTube Shorts trap from time to time. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do a live stream of putting together this watch. In fact, there are YouTubers who have made videos on putting together watches. The same style, the same way I'm going to be doing mine. And they've gotten hundreds of thousands of views, which is crazy. There's a lot of demand for that kind of stuff, which is interesting. Did I scuff this already? One YouTube short, back to normal video. Don't do any of those social sites. Never watch them. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that is a gateway drug to shorts, is that creators that I watch, that I like, they're making YouTube shorts. And so that's what sucks me in. YouTube knows exactly, be like, oh, Dan will definitely watch a Big Clive short. So it puts on a Big Clive short, I click it, and then you scroll down. Really wish I had some cleaning product with me here, but I do not. I need to go buy some Windex. I'm gonna go take one more look upstairs. It's gotta be Windex somewhere. Let me see here. I know I checked 2 days ago, but then after the stream I didn't go look anymore. I really don't know where the Windex went. Whatever. I'll find it some other time. I know I was cleaning in here a while ago. Oh well, whatever. I watch YouTube short from the creator you like. Just back after you don't scroll down, yeah. Yeah. I think the other thing is I have lots of like anxiety about stuff and life in general, and it's just nice to turn my brain off and just watch nonsense. That's another thing that I do that a lot of you don't do, is I watch nonsense on YouTube as well. It's like my downtime. Just sometimes just want to watch something that is not electronics related, so I could just turn my brain off. Because I am like on all the time. I am like working all the freaking time. All right, let's see here. So you guys can see. In between, try to catch up on which vids are in your alerts. Yeah. All right, so let's see here. See if I can straighten my mat a little bit. There we go. Oops. What did I do that for? Why is it on photo mode? Give me video. Okay. All right. So let's tour around the UI of this thing. So turn it on. Very reasonable turn on time. I have much slower scopes in my arsenal for sure. And here we go. So let's see about, so channel 1 is on. Let's see about turning it off. So it works, you know, you can double click to turn off, but then you're stuck with this menu. This is something I don't really like. And then you got to click the screen to turn it off. What happens if I go like this and then hit menu? Okay, menu seems to close it. Let's do channel 2 on. So I think it's on already, and then menu to close it. That's not too bad. 50% centers your thing. The auto button is interesting. It's like up here. It's like a trigger. It's also not a very satisfying click, I have to say. So, all right, let's do something like turn the probe to 10x. So I think you can click. Yeah, you can click 10x. The yellow highlighting could be better. The screen is nice, but it's not very obvious that it's on 10x. And then there we go. Horizontal measurements. Actually, you know what? Let's plug in a lead for this. So the leads don't have the matching color, you know, the probes don't have the matching colors to the channel. They have a blue, but they don't have a yellow, and they have a blue, they don't have a yellow, but they have like a green, a pink, and a red. So you won't get the matching colors. There's no yellow, and the blue is not the same blue. So you just got to keep that in mind. So let's plug this guy in, like so. A little hard to get your fingers around the BNC connector here because it is recessed inside here. So for someone like me with chunky hands, a little bit difficult. I don't mind it being recessed like this, but I do wish maybe the cutout was bigger so you can fit your hands in there. So let's plug this into the test spot. Okay, so now obviously for 1 kilohertz we are like way off here. 50 milliseconds. Let's just hit the auto. That's a fairly quick auto measurement. Let's turn this channel off, channel 2 off, can hit menu to go back, okay. And now this is not centered, so let's go 50%. Oh, 50% is the other way, interesting. Can I grab this and drag it down? I can. So let's go, how do you move this? I guess you would only be able to move it by clicking and dragging. Less of a fan of that. All right, let's hit auto again and see if it'll trigger it properly. There we go. Yep, triggered properly. Not even, but it is what it is. And now we can check our horizontal. That's quite nice. These knobs have very nice detents. I like it. Has that little bounce when you see that the wave moves. It feels almost like an analog scope, like the old CRT ones. There we go. We see the edges are very nice. My probe is in 10x, so this should be fully volts peak to peak, 2.8 volts. Duty cycle 50%, frequency 100 kilohertz. That is the test signal, so that's good. Now, to display these numbers on the bottom, you hit the channel menu, And then you've got your trigger settings, you've got your display settings, you've got your measure, and these are where you can turn on and off the measurements. So I have voltage peak to peak, frequency, and duty cycle. You know, maybe duty cycle is not that interesting. Maybe you want the RMS voltage. Then you get back out, and here we go. VRMS 1.99 volts, so about 2 volts RMS. So that's pretty good. Let's see how it works with 2 channels simultaneously. So I've got a probe here with the matching blue collar on this one. And then we'll pop this in. Yeah, a little hard for my big sausage fingers to get in there. If you have big hands, you might have trouble. All right, let's turn off channel 1 and turn on channel 2. So that's pretty good. Let's go auto measurement. That should show off both channels. Oh, interesting. It respected the channel 1 off. My other oscilloscopes, if the signal is on both channels, it will display both channels. So here's on. And that's interesting that the auto set them offset from each other. Ah, there we go. Now it's exactly in the same spot. Cool. And since they trigger the same, they're going to be at the same spot. Can change the channel settings. That's pretty neat. If I want to work on channel 1, I can work on channel 1. Pretty decent. It works. Oh, I see channel 2 is on 1x. What is my channel 2? It's on 10x. So let's change that to 10x. There we go. And perfectly serviceable. Good. Well, the scope works well. Most of the streams you're on are about films and TV shows. Only a couple are to do with electronics or computers. Oh, very nice. Most of what I watch is electronics. That's why I need to shut my brain off sometimes. Ugh. Get out of there. It's really hard to get in and out. And my test box. So let's see how well the DMM functions, since we know we have that separate DMM section on the very top here. So black lead to COM. Now these leads, I think they're stiff enough to knock this thing off your workbench. So I would probably replace these test leads as soon as I could with something nice. Doesn't have to be expensive, just nicer. Like maybe a set of mechanic leads, or even the Kaiwit leads are nicer. Ugh, there we go. A little stiff on there. All right, so how do we switch to the DMM now? I think it's this guy. There we go. Okay, so DMM on auto mode. Let's touch the leads together, see what it gives us. Oh, continuity. Continuity beep is loud, but not super fast and not latching when you're in auto mode. Let's see if we can move it to continuity. Let's see how fast. So it is latching, but not great. We're going to try this again with some decent leads. It could be the leads leaving it. It could be the leads that are letting it down. We're going to find out. Let's check resistance here on the Kaiweets multimeter gauntlet. Oh, there we go. So 10 ohms. It's a little awkward to use, but mind you, it's sitting on its back right now. Let's see. 10 ohms. I'd say that's okay. I forgive low resistance measurements, especially with these crap leads. What are the leads themselves? Like 2.5 ohms, 20 milliohms. It's not easy. 100 ohms. So this is 0.01%. So this would be off. 1k ohm, 0.01%, 10k ohm, 0.01%, and 100k ohm, 0.01%. For capacitance now, up to capacitance. I do like that there's a scrolling screen here. So 82 nanofarad, 1%. Decent. 100 nanofarad, 1%. Oh, it feels a little low, for sure. But again, these leads could be crap. Now I just need to hook my power supply up to this and we can do voltage testing. There we go. Your brain retains 99% of the information, get back only 50% from always. Yeah. Depends on what time they start streaming. Vex is starting in an hour. Then Ian will start at 10. There's a chance Al will stream from 5 to 9. You suffer with seizures. That sucks. Yeah. Silicone test leads are great. But, like, it's a little bit of a weird thing because you can get really good silicone test leads for inexpensive now. I think that it's valid to buy a cheaper multimeter that has all the features you want and just upgrade the test leads. So it really depends on what your goals are. That's a 12-volt battery, right? I think so. But I think it's totally valid to just get one good set of test leads and then, you know, some workhorse multimeters. My opinion, obviously. Opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got them. This should be negatory. And this should be pository. There we go. And then we're going to go channel 1 on. There we go. Just adding some charge to the battery while this warms up and sort of levels out. So on the subject of test leads, I have here the ultimate test leads, right? Probe Masters. So these are like the gold standard. I don't use them unless it's to test devices, but they are the gold standard. At my new job, that I just quit, the old new job, I was working under a microscope and needed really, really fine tipped leads. And I ended up having them order me some Mechanic leads, like Mechanic brand. They should be around here somewhere, because I've used them here. They're nice. They're very, very sharp, and they are replaceable tips. So, you know, when you damage them, you get new ones. The new job, though, I don't know. I don't know what the equipment is going to look like. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have to set up my own workstation. I don't know if they have standardized workstations. I don't know how that works. So these guys, these guys, Mechanic brand. ANEG makes some really cheap and good ones in silicone. Oh, nice. So yeah, you've got these two tips. And I'll tell you, the crazy part is I was working under such magnification let me get out the ones I was using. So I was working under such magnification that this tip, which will pierce your skin, guaranteed, it was blunt. I was looking at a flat end. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, I had these, I had them order me a set of these. They have a nice benchtop meter. So, like some of the components I was working on over there had under 0.5 millimeter pin pitch. It was crazy. It was nice. Some of the stuff I'll be working in the new job, though, is like, we're talking about like $1,000 system on a module plus. Just go to like every manufacturer, like ST and NVIDIA and Atmel, like Microchip, all of those companies, and go look at their flagship products. And that's the kind of stuff I will be working on in my new job. Working with, not working on, working with. Like those will be in my designs. Pretty friggin' wild, huh? Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Oh shit, I need to change my camera battery. Keep that at charging. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm nervous. Like I've done like low speed stuff, low cost stuff. This will be completely different animal. And if I screw up a board spin, it's not like it'll cost us like a day of productivity. It'll cost us like a day of productivity and thousands of dollars in ruined components. I think I have the right to be a little nervous. What do you think? All right, voltage has been stabilized. Let's go into the volts mode. And let's see what we get. Ooh, the probes are a little too thick to fit in the holder here. And obviously I'm going to edit this around so that you don't have to watch me struggle with getting the jumpers in and out. Here, I'll take out even the current setting. All right, so 10 volts. 9.996. Seven and a half volts, a 7.495. Five volts, 4.998. And 2.5 volts, 2.497 volts. There you have it. Let's see if it's just as precise in the auto. Seems to be. And let's see how fast it could figure it out. That's pretty quick. And then stays. That was pretty slow. Wasn't sure that time. I mean, it's pretty good. It's decent, I would say. Now for the current, we can only do really low current. I don't think it can measure low enough. Nope, it doesn't measure low enough. Oh, that was a mistake. It needs to be on 10 volts. What an idiot. God, this is a pain in the ass. Yeah, you'd think they would, but they don't. So I probably need to do it. Oh, and I'm an idiot. I didn't even switch the frickin' legs. Good thing I'm editing that part out. milliamp. And now for the current. Obviously, we only have very, very small amounts of current. 3.4 milliamps. 0.382 milliamps. And then NAFOL 0.099 milliamps. I completely refrained on commenting if this was on or out. This seems way out to me, but I have to check the specs of this to see if it even goes down to that low current. It's possible that it's operating outside of its range. So, yeah. And I am definitely thinking of rebuilding this whole setup in order to be more simple to use. Like, I'm probably gonna get some sort of like screw terminal, so I can just put the leads into the screw terminal, and then have voltage, capacitance, all of it. When I built this, I didn't have a 3D printer. Now I do. Yeah. There we go, and switching back. That's pretty easy. This, if you go menu, can't go back. Works better when you connect the wires at the right place. Yep, definitely. That brings you to the measure screen. Okay, that's good. Cursor, save, display, trigger, run. I mean, I guess the next step is the function gen. So we can get that ready. So as we get that ready, I will turn this off and put it on a charge. Because we want to maximize our work here. Okay, get this away. What time is it? 10 o'clock. So yeah, we're gonna go probably for another hour max. I'm actually gonna tell my wife to finishing at 10 o'clock today. Good morning, Mr. Ireland. Happy birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Mr. Curtis Ireland. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Hang on a sec, basement. Basement electronics, yesterday. So say happy birthday. How old are you? 28? Yesterday. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was my days that I wasn't sure of. 51. Holy crap, you're a dinosaur. Kidding. Or am I? There we go. I'm pretty old too, so I think I've got the right. I'm going to be 40 in only a couple of years. But yes, happy birthday indeed. I watched your whole following robot kit build. You know what I think you did wrong, Curtis? Not that you came here for my advice or asked for it or need it. You know why I think the pads are only on one side of the robot? Because I believe they want you to have them stick up off the board like this, closer to the track. I don't know how come I ended up doing this. I don't know if I did it by like elimination or whatever, process of elimination, or if the instructions said that for me. But I believe this is why the pads are on one side. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the damn video. That's simple. Oh, you thought of that. Okay. I may have missed when you said it. Oh, look at this shitty soldering. Guys, is this guy even a YouTuber? I don't know how many years ago I've built this. This was years and years ago. Look at that. What a fake YouTuber. I think the pads are ripped right out now. No. They're not ripped right out. But yeah. Oh yeah, this one might be, yeah, this one's ripped right out. Look at that. What an idiot. Tries to tell Curtis what to do, but can't solder to save his life. That's not what your mom calls me, Franco. May have just... Oh, yeah, it could be. True. Oh, my God. Big stretch of the imagination. So, Curtis, we need to figure out a sponsor to get us a 100 megahertz function gen. This little 60 megahertz one can't do square waves that fast. Would help if you soldered the legs. Yeah. So this is my fastest function gen, and it's not fast enough. And I'm not paying $1,600 for a 100 megahertz one. I need to reach out to someone. I mean, I can reach out to. I can reach out to Unity, but I don't think they'll send me another function gen like this bad boy, UTG 4122A. You know what? I will reach out. Here we go. Someone contacted me. Oh, hello. That's interesting. I got an email from Unity. I can't reveal. What is this? Oh my god. Um, um, okay, hang on. I really have to answer this. Yeah, sorry. No. I was reading. Sorry. Uh, oh my god. Give me a second. Great. I may have. Have I progressed in boot? No, it's been a little bit. I've been under a lot of pressure. I may have negotiated something with Unity. We'll see how it goes. That's not what I want to do. Give me a second here. I just want to look something up really quick. Oh, yes. Okay. So possibly Unity is going to want to work with me with something. I will not disclose what and where and when, but I'm down. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. I'm down. All right. What did we? Oh yeah, we're looking for 100 megahertz function gen, but it is what it is. Okay, so function gen. So no, it's been a little bit since boot.dev. I will continue. For now, the goal is to focus on impressing my new employers. So I am not 100% focused on coding. I understand coding is important, and I want to get back to it, but for now, I only have one brain, and I only have 24 hours in a day. I will get back to it, for sure. Okay, so here, so if I'm not mistaken, this thing has a, how do you change mode? Not mode. I want to change this from high Z to, there we go, load. Can I not? Oh. Can I not change this to 50 ohm? I should read my email more often. Did you send me stuff? Come on. I don't want high Z. Why? Why are you doing this? Amp limit. On. Off. High Z. Switch. Channel 2 setting. Load. 50 ohm. Okay, but channel 1. Utility. Channel 1 setting. Channel 1 setting. Load. Why can't I change it? You have some hours reserved for sleep? Yeah. Okay, you know what? When in doubt, I don't know why it's not letting me switch high Z. Maybe, okay, hang on. Mode. Utility. What is going on? Channel 1 settings, load. It's like not working. Utility. Your brain is not connected for that? Yeah, fair enough. Channel 1 settings. Load. 50 ohms. Okay, we got it. You use these buttons. Okay. Okay. Channel 1. Jeez, Murphy, that was difficult. All right, channel 1. Channel 1 is off. There we go. Let's do the camera. Now we need to tilt. Why are you being so difficult to me? Thank you. All right. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's flip this on. Ooh, that fan though. You know what? I'm gonna offset these a little bit. Zoom in a little bit. Do I still have my mics? Yep, I have my mics. Thank you, Franco. Got the fantastic UTG962E connected here. This thing can only go up to 60 megahertz, and this thing should be good to 100 megahertz, but with 500 meg samples per second. I mean, it's sort of like is what it is. That's off, back home, that's good. All right, so we've got it on channel 1. I've got a 1 megahertz sine wave. So we'll turn on channel 1. Here we go. And like I like to do, auto the display. Bang, it caught it. That's good. All right, so what do we have here? So first of all, it's in 10 times mode, which it shouldn't be, but that's okay. That's my own settings that I have to deal with. Oh, keep forgetting. Go back to home like that. So we've got here, my peak-to-peak voltage is 5.2 volts, and this one here is 2.5 volts peak-to-peak. I'm not sure why it's 2.5 volts peak-to-peak on here, and it's reading 5 volts peak-to-peak here. That doesn't make any sense. Let's just change this. So 1.5 volt peak-to-peak. And this is 3 volts peak-to-peak. That's interesting. Our vertical resolution is 1 volt per division. I can't really see the division lines very well because of the angle here. Let me see if I can display this a bit nicer. Display, sure, like this. Okay, so indeed, yeah, we have 1.5 on the positive and 1.5 on the negative. So this should be 3 volts peak to peak, but this says 1.5 volts peak to peak. That is interesting. So if we just go, let's go 1 volt RMS. Let's see what that gives us. It's 2 volts RMS on here. I am in channel 1, right? I am indeed in channel 1. We've got a 50 ohm load. Let's change the load to high Z and then back to home. So 2 volts RMS. We do have 2 volts RMS. Okay. So if we change this amplitude to peak to peak, oh. Here we go, 2.5 volts peak to peak. So we had a bug in this function gen. That is really interesting. And if we change the utility one, load, 50 ohm load, back to the output. Yeah, now we're in good shape. Interesting. And 2.5 volts peak to peak. See, now it says 2.5 volts, and we're at 5 volts. So is it the load? Hang on. I'm gonna turn off the camera. Something's going on. 2.5 volts peak to peak with a 50 ohm load is giving me 5. This is weird. Your brain is definitely multi-core with all the things she does at the same time. Yeah, yeah. The tea bag broke in the first one. Ew. Okay, so I need to change this back to high Z. Load. High Z. Now what do we got? 5 volts peak to peak, 5 volts peak to peak. Okay. I'm going to leave this as is. I'm going to restart the segment. Definitely restarting the segment. Channel 2 settings, load, high Z. No, I don't have a 50 ohm load attached, but I thought it was on this end. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm going to restart the segment. So now we just need to change our vertical, change our horizontal back to approximately where it was. And then turn that off. There we go. All right. I think we're good. I got the wonderful Unity UTG 962E, 60 megahertz, 200 meg samples per second, function gen hooked up here through just a BNC cable. And we've got the Finercy on. One channel is on. Our channel is at ×1 because we're just going through a BNC. And we're going to turn this on. And we're going to hit auto. And see if it works. Oh, need to press it down. Can't really tilt it. And there we go. So we got 5 volts peak to peak on here. 5.13 volts peak to peak here. We've got 1 megahertz exactly on there, and we are reading 1.00 megahertz on here. So that seems to work. Let's go up. And we're going to crank this up all the way to as high as it goes, which would be 60 megahertz. Now, it shouldn't make this thing sweat, but don't forget, this is 200 meg samples per second. This one's 500 meg samples per second. So any sampling inaccuracy should be coming from this device. Hit the auto again. And here we go. Let's, so 4.7 volts peak to peak. And that's normal. This thing at its very max has a little bit of attenuation. It is what it is. Let's see if we can zoom into this waveform. So this is as far as we can go. 5 nanoseconds. And we are at 500 meg samples per second. So a 100 megahertz signal is going to be quite a bit faster than this. Like almost double. And you can only zoom into 5 nanoseconds at this voltage scale. Yeah, 5 nanoseconds. So if you're hoping for really accurate measurements, really precise measurements at the 100 megahertz range, I don't know if you're going to find that. Now, I am working on a way to test these oscilloscopes up to 100 megahertz plus. That's not here right now, so we have to deal with what we've got. So now let's try a square wave. So if I change here to a pulse, yeah, value's out of range, I'm well aware. And we're going to do quite a bit more reasonable. Let's do a 1 megahertz pulse, 5 volts peak to peak. Duty cycle, I'm going to drop that down, like just a little pulse, and then we're going to capture that with the auto. There we go. There's the pulsation. And we're going to change our vertical time scale so we get a nice tight peak. And going to change our horizontal. Now this waveform is not square like you see on the screen here, but that is a limitation of the WaveGen. I have actually tested this with a higher bandwidth scope and it looks the same. The only thing is the higher bandwidth scope, you get the sampling artifacts because it's only 200 meg samples per second on the function gen. So yeah, this is not very straight, but it's because of the function gen. If we drop, in fact, the function gen quite a bit lower, so we'll go like 1 kilohertz. There we go. There's actually 100 kilohertz, and we go auto. It should be quite a bit straighter. Yeah, there we go. And then we do our horizontal. Yeah, quite a bit straighter. We have a maximum rise and fall time of 15 nanoseconds. Sorry, a minimum rise and fall time of 15 nanoseconds. So it is what it is. This thing is limited, and this thing is limited. However, for hobby electronics, I think you would be perfectly fine using this. For automotive electronics, definitely you are well in the range. But yeah, for hobbyist stuff, this seems to work just fine. Okay, close enough. Compensates for the load being there. Okay, okay. I thought it was you're matching the load. I mean, that makes sense. All right, we need to do the function gen part of this. I wish I had another scope that sits flat like this. This is my only one. Nope, nope. Just clearing my emails. I have some cool stuff on the way, by the way. If you guys are interested, I have some really cool stuff on the way to be reviewed. You did some tests, everything is good. Yeah, the sleep clinic tests. I have sleep apnea almost for certain. I think I need to lose weight to drop it. Okay, so let's plug this back in. We can turn it off. Like so. This is good. It served its purpose. Thank you. Yeah. Now we need a scope. Preferably one that sits flat, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I don't have a flat scope. This is my flattest scope. I could use like I have like a scope DMM, but it's not quite the same deal. I guess the Unity is the closest thing I've got. Oh, Jesus. This thing is heavy. But yeah, as you can see, the power connection is back there, and like there's recesses here. If the power came in here or here, that would be a lot easier. Really wish I could power this by USB-C. It's like I need a Finersi scope. I don't have a Finersi scope, right? No. No, of course I don't. I mean, aside from this one. Because Finersi has a benchtop unit that is very thin and is powered by USB. You have an audio meter so you can test your hearing. Your right ear is shot. Your left ear is weak. Yeah, my right ear is shot. that is just an aspect. Mechanics tend to, like, I have the impact gun in this hand, and that means it's closer. Oh, sorry. Means it's closer to my right ear, and so, yeah, my right ear is getting pretty bad, and I can tell because when I talking on the phone on my left ear, and then I switch to my right ear, the volume decrease is insane. It's like insane. Okay, so how am I going to get this in shot? I'm going to have to shoot from this way. Have you tested the grounding of the scope with USB-C connector? No. No. I would say that if grounding is an issue for you, unplug. But I mean, it should be completely, the ground should be continuous to it should be continuous to through the USB-C socket. But then, like, your charging port might be floating. Loud music from the age of 7 ruined both of them. Ear infection a year ago killed your right ear. Damn. Here, let's see. The grounding is linked. Oh. It's isolated. There's 1 meg of resistance. Not isolated per se, but sort of isolated. Huh. Interesting. Okay, you know what? Can I feed the are the function gen and scope separate? Can I feed one to the other? That is a good question. It would sure save me having to deal with another device. All right. Oh, that's the DMM. So let's go sine wave. 999 megahertz. So 10 meg is as high as it goes. 3 volts amplitude, that's peak to peak. Run. Back. Auto. What the hell is that? Now I need to know. Is it the scope or the function gen? Let's drop this to 1 megahertz. Okay, hold on. Is that because it's charging? No. That's a lot of jitter. The period on the megahertz is so small down there. So like 1 pixel. All right, let's see what we got. If we use okay, so let's take a look here at the Unity scope. I know it's not the ideal viewing angle for you guys. So yeah, there's quite a bit of noise on that, for sure. Let's go to here. Let's go 10 megahertz. Oh, that is horrible noise. Look at that. Wishy-washy. That's some bad noise. So at 1 meg, it's significantly better, but not the best. Let's go 1 kilohertz, auto set. Oops. This is not. It's not a particularly clean sine wave. I think it's passable, but there is some. You guys can barely not see it. There's some weird artifacting here. Not impressive. It's really a good enough type tool. I don't think it's a bad lead. Interesting. Let's can the amplitude go up? Like 6, whoops. 3 volts seems to be the maximum. Let's go 1 volt. I'm gonna auto set to grab this. Maybe the noise will reduce. It is reduced a bit. Let's change the frequency to 1 megahertz. It's quite noisy. It's not a clean signal. Let's go up to the 10 megahertz. Oops. 10 meg. Yeah, 10 meg is a disaster. Like, there's no chance. This is not a smooth. Let's go like 9 meg. No. 1 meg. So it's like good at 1 meg. Sorry, not good. It's okay at 1 meg. Yeah, it's like acceptable at 1 meg, but not great. It's also, the frequency is a bit off, 1.001573 meg. It's not what I would call phenomenal. For sure. Let's see if we can get a square wave. Square wave at 1 meg. Very, very dirty. Look at the ringing. And we've got uneven frequency. See that? I don't know if you guys can see this very well. See, it's all fuzzy. What's the maximum here? 2 meg is the maximum. 2 meg is, I would say it's unusable. Look at the doubling of the signal. Yeah, look at how nasty that is. Look at this. So 1 meg, 2 meg is not really usable. Let's try 500K. It's the same thing. This is not a great. Let's go to like 10K. Should be able to do 10K. Still lots of ringing up there. What's it look like on here? Auto set. It's reasonably clean for here. You can see that ringing though. Oh yeah, I forgot it's touchscreen. It's passable. Software updates. I shouldn't have to do a software update. It's passable. It depends what you need it for. You're not going to get clean edges or anything like that. Let's see. 2D15p. RC 2D15p. It is kind of expensive. Let's see. Go away. User manual. Firmware 2.6.0.7. 2.6.0.7. But it doesn't say what the firmware change is. Webcam 2.0.6.7. Menu. Settings. Regarding 2.0.0.7. So there is a newer firmware. But this is already newer than the launch firmware. How do you even update this? I guess there's the USB. Does it even say how to update the firmware? Maintenance. It's not a clickable PDF.
Sine wave 10 megahertz. Okay, but what's the rest? Doesn't say. Oh, that's it. This is all you get in the SIGGEN. Okay. Test leads. No specs. Self-calibration. Troubleshooting. That's it. Cleaning. Contact us. Nothing for firmware update. So we can download the latest firmware. Doesn't say how. Uh, 2D15P. Firmware update. Oh, this is literally from Finersi.
Here's what's new in this update. If you write on an older version, just follow these steps. Go to the official website and find the TD15P firmware download. Once downloaded, extract the file to your desktop. Connect the device to your PC. Open Settings. Enable USB sharing. Then after connected, a USB drive will pop up. Place the firmware file inside the Upgrade Files folder.
Oh, that is pretty easy.
Disconnect the USB. Turn it off and on again. It will auto-enter the upgrade page. After the update, it restarts automatically. Is now more sensitive to triggering. Multimeter readings are more stable. Operation logic is more intuitive. More firmware updates are coming soon. Drop your suggestions in the comments.
Interesting. So it's not too bad. No invert channel mode. Oh, that's weird. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to film sort of like head on for the scope readings. So I think this is where we're going to call it a day. I'm going to try to do some filming today. But if not, I'll try to do another stream tomorrow so we can finish this and go at it, because yeah, I really want to show the quality here. Not great quality. And probably tomorrow too, we're going to try with high quality test leads and see the difference. But all right, enough is enough. I think I've had enough. So have a good day, guys. Thank you very much for being here. I know a lot of you have sort of fallen out of favor in the streams because I haven't been here. But I'm back, baby. And I don't know how long I'll be back. The new job might not allow me to, well, it will not allow me to stream during the week. But maybe we'll see about the weekends or evening streams. Anyways, thanks everyone. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.